anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com and tell them Drape sent you.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
So, as you know, yesterday the sports gods, Small G, they go up to Kings fans, you probably are one, and they say, hey, I got something for you. Whack! Then they go up to 49er fans, got something for you too. Whack! And if any of y'all are fans of both the 49ers and the Kings, whack! Whack! So we're still dealing with all that. I know it's been a tough 24 hours, but don't worry about it. We got you covered today. Whitey Gleason, Jay Johnson, Matt George today. Matt, welcome. And you know, it's been a grim 24 hours for fans. Today, maybe we try to help people get a sense of how the teams can work through this. And maybe in the chaos and confusion, we find a note of optimism. I don't even know it's possible, but maybe we do that today.
I mean, the show must go on, right? That
right.
cliche in show business and in theater. But look, it was like you stub your toe. Keegan Murray news comes out and you stub your toe and you're like bending down, holding your foot like and then you stand up too quickly and hit your head on something that's above you. That was the Fred Warner news, right? So just a 1-2 gut punch from the sports gods to our local teams. Tough day on Sunday to be a 49ers and Kings fan, but you got to keep moving forward. Nobody feels bad for you, right? This is actually, probably some people are feeling bad for the Niners at this point.
Yeah. Jay's always an interesting barometer on this because early in the year, I was starting to panic before things were even going wrong. Oh, what about this? What about that? What about this guy? And Jay has always been the voice of reason. He's been, hey, you know what? The 49ers always get injured. They're going to be injured. You got to deal with it. Last week, he scared me a little bit when I asked him about the quarterback situation against Tampa Bay, and he said, yeah, I'm a little worried because Jay doesn't usually worry. So, Jay, how you feeling now that Fred Warner lost for the year?
Ooh, bro, it's ugly.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if you are a combination of a Sacramento Kings / 49er fan right now, Whitey, man, look, you might as well go ahead and call the doctor because you're going to need it. Robitussin. You're going to need something stronger than over-the-counter right now, let me tell you. I'll say this. The 49ers at this point, truly, fellas, we're at the point where they're going to have to start making some decisions. And you had talked about this a couple weeks ago. Draper was on our butt about it a few weeks ago. But I truly believe even if Kittle comes back, even if Purdy comes back, even if, Ayuk's going to come back, Malik Mustafa came back, we could continue. You're at the point where you lost both of your probably best defenders.
Right.
Got to make some decisions.
Yeah.
And is a playoff run, it's kind of like the Kings conversation, is a playoff run worth giving up some picks down the road, or is it you're just playing to see how the team equals out? We'll talk about it next year.
Yeah.
But I'm not panicked. It's decision time because if we're past panic, we're in trouble.
Yeah, the other thing, Jay, Matt, dear listener, I know we've talked about this all year long. Wow, the 49ers might be a playoff team, but are they a Super Bowl team? I don't know. Well, now you lose Fred Warner. Boy, they're not a Super Bowl team. Well, wait, I thought we already knew they weren't. So, obviously, it's a potentially devastating loss. But, I mean, the schedule alone maybe keeps them in the playoff race. Matt, I just feel like the 49ers Hope-mobile lost another wheel.
Yeah, and is that the thing? Do you just ride it out until another wheel falls off? Like, it's hard to look at a 4-2 start. You're in a 3-way tie for first place in the NFC West and go, yeah, we're going to make the decision to slow down here. I agree with Jay completely in the sense of I'm probably not risking future draft compensation to try and bring something or some things in to get us back into a Super Bowl window, which I do feel is closed as soon as Fred Warner's injury happened. But maybe you just let it play out, and if what we expect happens, which is they start to lose some games and slow down, now they run out of the race in the division, and now you can kind of pull the plug naturally. But this team has been the poster child of resiliency over the course of this season already, these first 6 weeks. So hey, man, maybe just ride it out and you can pick up a win or two and go 500 until you can get Kittle and Purdy at some point back. Maybe you reevaluate at that point. I just don't know how right now you can convince yourself and your fans, hey, now is not the time to shut it down when we're 4-2 and still technically in first place.
That's Matt George in for the next couple of days, and we appreciate that, Matt. One way to look at this perhaps is, okay, what if you were going to try to stay relevant and make a run at it this year without necessarily going out and making a major trade? What hope would you have for that? It's a slim hope, but maybe there's something to this. Maybe. And they're looking at all possibilities and permutations here. You get enough guys back offensively where you start relying more on the offense and the defense just hangs on, and maybe you actually become a team that's, playing more high-scoring games. Even that, though, given that the offensive line right now, I think that's the 49ers' biggest problem. Other than the injuries, the offensive line is terrible right now. They can't run the ball, and that's why Mac Jones got pulverized yesterday.
I mean, Mac is already moving gingerly, and he did not look like he was moving very well in that game. Of course, when Brock Purdy comes back, hopefully sooner than later, he's one hit away from going right back on the shelf, knock on wood. So you got to be concerned. I didn't realize this. Christian McCaffrey's rushing touchdown was their first rushing touchdown of the season in Week 6,
and they still don't have an interception.
And for a 4-2 team, that's pretty incredible,
right? For a Kyle Shanahan team,
right?
That we run the ball and we stop the run. That's what we do,
right? Yeah. I mean, you just offensively have to hope that your superstars can be superstars, considering your two biggest defensive superstars are on the shelf for the rest of the season. So. I mean, we've talked many a time about Sacramento offense carrying us through and punt defense and hope for the best. So maybe we just apply that thinking to the Niners now.
So let's address the elephant in the room, Matt. Did the season end yesterday, ostensibly, effectively, for the 49ers and for the Kings?
No, I mean, the season ending before it starts would be a very Carmichael Dave take.
It'd also be a very Sacramento Kingsy thing to do, though.
Yes, to be very true. I mean, I promise you this. Doug Christie is a head coach. He's not given up at any point unless every single – I mean, he didn't give up during last season when everything was going on. So I promise you he's not – he's probably going dang it behind closed doors and maybe saying worse things than dang it. But I promise you Doug Christie's going to believe that he can figure this out. For the 49ers, again, I think they can be competitive every single week. The schedule, the fact that it's a losing, if they had like a winning schedule from last season, I'd say, ooh, yeah, the door's closed. But I do think the window on any kind of Super Bowl contention is closed. And I feel like 49ers
Was it ever
fans,
really open?
Maybe a crack. I mean, when you came into the season and you could convince yourself that, I mean, everybody was talking about if Christian McCaffrey could just stay healthy. He's the only guy staying healthy at this point, and he's being targeted 300 times a game. So, and I'm just you're flirting with that. So, I think that both teams have plenty to play for still, but it just might play out the way we expect.
What do you think, Jay? Did the season end yesterday for the Kings and for the 49ers?
Kings, no. You can't end the season before it starts.
Right.
You may luck up and find something that you didn't know you had. You may luck up into a player who plays or fits a position that maybe you weren't really trying to quantify down the road.
Opportunity knocks for somebody.
I will say this. I didn't watch the game on Friday.
It was unwatchable.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I'm a busy man, right?
Yeah.
So, and it was homecoming weekend for the daughter, and, Pop's got to play daddy duty and just go get that cookie. So when it was really all said and done, I didn't realize it until I saw the press release yesterday. And once I got the press release yesterday, now I'm on the phone. I'm tapping in with everybody. Well, who the hell's going to start at 4? If Keegan Murray is gone, who are we going to have to start at 4? And you'd be surprised, maybe not be surprised, but I probably got 36 different names, even names that weren't even on the team yet. Like, how's that going to happen?
Right.
We're a week away, 9 days. I saw Kenny Thomas post up for his jersey 9 days. I think you can't count out the Kings because to kind of use the example of the 49ers, what were the expectations? Going into this season, the expectations is what? Playing at best? Unless you're TC, who thinks you got 52 wins on the table.
Haven't heard from Curtis Hicks this year.
Nah, you
had
probably haven't.
Wins last year.
I mean,
Looking forward to hearing his
off
prediction.
that Slimer juice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I do think you come to a point where if you're the Kings, just as I say with the 49ers, you have a few decisions to make, but you may still luck up into something. With the 49ers, expectations were get into the playoffs, see where the chips fall. At this point, I just think the Super Bowl is a little bit out of reach. As much as the NFC isn't as strong as I think we all thought 3 weeks ago, I just really can't see how you got a bunch of rookies. You got a bunch of guys who are injured. You got Bethune. You got somebody who you think in D. Winters is great, but really this is his first real go-around. As a 49er fan, you just got to be honest with yourself. You'll probably slip into the playoffs, but maybe we'll see.
Yeah, there's also this for the 49ers, and I understand. Losing both those guys, Bosa and Fred Warner, that's just the type of thing you don't really overcome. But we've talked a lot about how we thought the playoff positioning in the NFC, other than one or two top teams, was going to be a jumble bucket.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. You asked us the question, why you didn't answer it?
That's what I'm answering now.
Okay, well, break it down, sir.
Yeah, but I think that the jumble bucket is going to include even more teams than we thought. The Eagles might be in the jumble bucket.
Yeah,
the Lions might be in there. So if I'm the 49ers, I realize, wow, I am not the team I hope to be. But look around the NFC. Maybe we got a shot at getting in the playoffs, winning the playoff game. Who knows? It's not going to be easy. And, it's very difficult with a defense that, already they had 10 players on the field when Fred Warner got hurt. Did you know that?
That's terrible.
Yeah. So I know it's going to be a challenge, but I think the NFC is going to be even more wide open than we thought. So what the heck? Let's see what happens.
I think it's the entire NFL is wide open.
Yeah,
this is
I agree.
the most college-like NFL
Right.
season I've ever seen, to where anybody can win on any given week, and I have no idea what the Super Bowl picture is going to be, which to me is always exciting, even if the NFL might be spooked by a potential, let's say, Buccaneers-Bills Super Bowl. And it's like, market-wise, it's probably not the most exciting thing, but from a storyline standpoint, Baker Mayfield versus Josh Allen, I'd be all for it, just from an interest standpoint. But it feels like the team that's able to thrive in chaos the best this season is going to be the one to make it all the way through. And while I'm not saying that the Niners are phenomenal at it, Shanahan's been dealing with injury chaos plus training camp holdout chaos for the better part of 3 straight years. So maybe you kind of can put your hope in Shanahan that he can be the one to right the ship a little bit and just get you through.
There's still a glimmer of hope for a decent season. Super Bowl, like we said, Jay, I don't know if that was ever really, we kind of convinced ourselves, hey, you never know. But a good season, a good ending to the season, maybe there's a glimmer of hope for that. I know that Matt Brose today was on with Carmichael Dave, and he was asked all these questions that we're asking, and he said, that's just going to catch up to you. Where you just don't have that many good players, it's going to catch up to you. That said, Carmichael Dave also today, and I think he's golfing today, or I would, ask him to come on himself, but he was talking about the Kings, and I guess what happened yesterday really hit him hard, because he was saying, there is no hope. If you're a Kings fan, there is no hope. And then he said, maybe they get into the play-in, and then maybe you're in the playoffs, and maybe then you're out in the first round. Well, okay, when did the chance at making the playoffs not count for something in Sacramento? I know this isn't a great team, and I know they're not going to win an NBA title, but to me, no hope is an overstatement.
Yeah, but I think Dave, he's made an entire career out of representing Sacramento Kings fans, and there are a lot of Kings fans that feel the exact same way, and it's hard to blame them based off of how last season went. But even the overreactions, and again, I understand them, to the first preseason game, right? You lose to Toronto, things were ugly, and a lot of Kings fans, at least the vocal ones on social media and online, took that as validation of their fears and feelings like this is just an empty season. This is just a lost year because of everything that happened last year and decisions made before Scott Perry was here. And there are already some on the bandwagon of, hey, focus on the young guys, make this a development season, punt the year, try and get the best draft pick you possibly can, because the worst place you could be is a place the Kings are all too familiar with, which is right in the middle. That's where they've been for the vast majority of this playoff drought, and they're slated to be right there again. So I understand, hey, if you can choose a side, it's easier to choose losing than it is to choose winning. And I think this Keegan Murray injury, for people like Dave and Kings fans who want this, is just another... The fate is telling you, go this route, take this path. I don't agree with it. I know Doug Christie hates it even before he was a head coach, But I guess I get where they're coming from.
Yeah. And I'll say this, Jay. I mentioned to you that I thought the game Friday was unwatchable, and I want to clarify that. The game, it was just a preseason game,
right?
But they had the Blazers feed. That's what we saw.
Yeah.
It was their scoreboard feed. So every time Portland scored a basket, the Kings would have the ball, and you'd want to see their half-court offense. You got 3 replays. There's Jeremy Grant. Here he is again. And you could not watch. They also had the angles from the baseline. And I'm not complaining that, we deserve a better stream, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you are.
It's preseason.
Man, stand on that.
No, I am.
Right. Why are we backing down
business.
on that?
Well, I'm not backing down. I'm just saying it's business. No one is going to go spend money to send a team up there to show the game.
True.
But I'm saying it was unwatched. I ended up watching baseball. It was hard to watch.
And Jay,
couldn't watch the game.
What we did see was interrupted by the officials. There were 73 free throws in this game.
Yeah.
Damn.
33 for the Kings, 40 for Portland. So it wasn't like it was one-sided. It was just like the whole point of preseason is to develop a rhythm so you don't limp into the season with rusty basketball for the first week. And I know the officials also use the preseason too to get right and get ready themselves. But hey, maybe at halftime after you've called a billion fouls, maybe go, okay, we're going to back off a little bit to allow more of a rhythm in the second half. No. 73 free throws, including what ended up being the game-winning free throw for Portland with like 0.6 seconds remaining on the. It was just an ugly, horrible basketball
Even the
game.
G-man, he never complains. He was going, we're going to be here a while tonight.
It's like a 3-hour game.
So it was a tough watch.
So you made the right choice.
Yeah.
Man. Well, you shouldn't be watching preseason games anyway.
Yeah. Plus, the baseball game was one of the greatest games of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that 15-inning Mariner.
It was a marathon.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So that's where we are. I still say there's a glimmer of hope for both teams.
Of course there
Why
are.
not?
You never know. It's never. It's the end is never near until the end is here. Right. That's one of the things one of my coaches always used to tell me. The end is never near until the end is here. When it's all said and done, then it's all said and done. As you talk about with the NFL, we consistently have been talked about it. I'll pat myself on my spinal cord, on my back. I thought Tampa really had one of the better teams this year. We see they're super banged up.
Oh, they're incredibly banged up.
They are. They're just as banged up as the 49ers
Even
almost.
Detroit last night, I don't know that everyone realized they were down to like their 5th corner.
Yeah. And Detroit, same thing last year, banged up. But real fast, because I'm going to talk a little smoke about the Chiefs, man. The NFL, you got to, come on.
Zero penalties.
Zero penalties.
That is a very discdisciplined group out there. I applaud them. Man, that's buttoned up football.
That's Andy Reid type, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting away. The quarterback, the quarterback touchdown, the NFL's making up rules on the spot. Literally. I text Mike Pereira, and I said, Mike, we got to get you on this week, bro. Because you're creating something I ain't never even heard of when it comes to the touchdown. And then the second part of it is the pass interference where the ball was literally 15 yards past the wide receiver. And he was touched. It was super uncatchable.
Yeah.
And they're giving flags to keep the Chiefs going? Taylor Swift must be talking about that album popped out. She must have said Chiefs on there about 5 times.
What happened was they had 13 penalties last week against Jacksonville. And so the commissioner had a meeting with the officials.
You know that.
What is this? This better not happen again. So
what are the officials more afraid of? The meeting from Roger Goodell or that Taylor will write a song about him?
Ooh. Well, no one will listen to it because isn't the newest album terrible?
I don't know. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, but it's racy, isn't it? Isn't it kind of like,
Reviews are bad, but it's number 1. So I guess everyone's hearing it.
You're brave saying that publicly.
No, the reviews are bad.
I know.
They're terrible.
You're brave saying that publicly. There's a whole hive of people that might come for you just for saying that.
Well, Kyle Draper was a big Swiftie.
Yeah.
So we go back and forth on that quite a bit. We did before he finally decided he couldn't fight that Taylor Swift fight anymore, and he left. Tail tucked between his legs. That's the real reason he left. Right, Jay?
Absolutely. I saw him last night at the concert, right?
Yeah.
And we're literally walking around the G1C because the concert's not for adults. It really was for children. Or not. I shouldn't say children. I should say teenagers, youngsters, young adults. There you go, right? And so I'm moving and grooving, and we're sitting there talking about it. And, half the conversation is about Keegan and what they're going to do, and is it Dario Saric, is it IJ, is it Neek, we're figuring it out. But one of the things I did talk about, and I said, dude, you know how I look at this music that I'm listening to right now, which was Playboy Cardi and King Carson, and shouts out to them for sliding through Sacramento, putting the city of trees back on the map like we always do. But like the way I'm listening to some of this music is the same way that I would imagine I'd be listening to Taylor Swift. So I'm like, Drapes, how in the hell do you listen to? Because one of the things he always talks about is what? Playlist. Quinn's got a playlist. Nick's got a playlist. I've got a playlist. And, we mix and match and figure it out, and everybody kind of gets their own. So I'm like, when this comes on, meaning Ken Carson, what do? It's like, dude, I'm struggling. So when Taylor Swift come, that's how me and Whitey feel.
Uh-huh.
And you sitting there trying to throw it in our face. Now you got the rhythm of what we've been talking about. Here goes Drapes. He's got the epiphany.
Yeah.
He's like,
the light is off.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I'm like, that's how bad Taylor Swift sounds to us.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Taylor Swift. Get your money.
By the way, speaking of our friends, shout out to Emran Pilati. Big piece on Emran in the B today. True Sports Cards.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, huge article.
Beautiful situation
He
right
says,
there, brother.
all I did was talk about you guys, and they didn't mention you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Sounds like that matters to you.
No.
I no disrespect, but I don't disrespect me.
Because you lying, Emran. Yeah.
No, but it's a really nice
No,
piece.
it was a great piece. Shouts out to him and, getting the shine. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a little bit of shine, brother. 100%.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're rolling on with Matt George today. And I just, I realize it's really tough to be optimistic right now for the 49ers and the Kings. I'm just saying, they got a game. Just take it a game at a time, right? Kings fans know what it's like when you root for a team that maybe doesn't have the chances of really achieving much. You just take it a game at a time. Where are the 49ers going to be? I don't know. They got Atlanta next week, right? Primetime game.
Well, there's opportunity in every circumstance.
Yeah.
Mac Jones has made the absolute most out of his opportunity in a resurgent season to where now people are talking quarterback controversy in Santa Clara. And then you have, for the Sacramento Kings, what I want the Kings to do is an opportunity for an older rookie, 24th pick, Neat Clifford.
Yeah.
Doors may have swung wide open for you, and here's your chance to prove that you're better than your draft selection and that you just don't get opportunity like this all the time. Keegan Murray got a lot of opportunity as a rookie, and that put him on the map in a lot of ways. So, hey, there's opportunity in everything, and this is what sports are about. You step up, you make a name for yourselves, and 2 years from now, we're talking about how did that guy ever not play?
Yeah, Matt, I feel like this year was already a developmental year, just kind of disguised as a win now year.
Yep.
And at some point, unless they got off to a great start, which is less possible now, it's still possible, but it's less likely. They were going to at some point have to, kind of say, okay, we're all in with the youngsters. This just probably speeds that up.
Yeah, Scott Perry inherited a circumstance. He inherited the contracts that he inherited, which are extremely difficult to move on from. He inherited the goals of the franchise to continue to try and sell out the Golden One Center, light the beam as much as possible, get back to the playoffs, and take the business positives and benefits from that. And I think he's trying to address both things. He's trying to establish a culture, develop young talent that is here. There's not a lot of it, but you still have Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Domantas Sabonis on your roster. It was going to be very difficult for you to get rid of either of or any of the three of them anyway. So you can't just have them sit there and count their money and do nothing and put up empty stats. So try and win now. And plus, winning experience is good for young guys. Keegan Murray could benefit from playing in another playoff series or meaningful games down the stretch, as could Neat Clifford, Maxime Reynaud, Devin Carter, Keon Ellis, all these younger guys. So there's still plenty of importance to take from this season. It might feel like a lost year from 1,000 feet up, but feet on the ground, every day there's opportunity, and I think that's how the Kings are going to try to approach it.
And besides, is there anything wrong with this Kings team that Russell Westbrook can't fix? Don't answer that. It's just got. It's just a.
How much time we got?
It's just a hypothetical. We're gonna find out more about Russ in the days to come, and we're gonna find out more about Keegan and what the Kings' options are, and we can't wait to find out what your thinking is along those lines. What's up, Jay?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's become a running joke with Russ, right? Like literally, it's become
for
a
me.
running
It has.
joke.
There are some people that don't see it that way.
They think it's real.
Some people, I think, see some upside.
I think people in the Kings organization see a lot of upside.
Yeah.
I would say the fact that Keegan is hurt probably has changed the thought process into that.
Maybe.
I think if you go and pick up Russ right now, as much as the Sacramento Kings fans are super loyal to the soil, I would say they would be in an upheaval knowing that the first 4 to 6 weeks, first 3 to 5, however you want to, maximize the time limit, you don't go get a big right now and you sign Russell Westbrook, man, please. It'd be over with. I don't think we're going to see Russell anytime soon.
Yeah. We'll talk about all of that when we come back. Huge NFL weekend, Week 6 surprise, and also a stunning number that really shouldn't surprise anybody. We're back with that. We got Matt George with us today. Yay, Sactown Sports.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations. When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures. Until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter. So who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everybody knows that Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the spot to get yourself a brand new car. That's why people are coming from all over. Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville. But they also have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. all makes and models, every one of them top quality, hand-selected by General Manager Chuck Dean. Over 70 vehicles below $30,000, over 25 below $20,000. You can see that full lineup at SacSuperstore.com, and if you find a lower price somewhere else, they'll match it. And on top of that, the best car buying experience anywhere. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Lad.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Matt George is with us today. How about that? Anything we can do for you, Matt? Anything we can get for you? You okay?
I mean, very specific room temperature water. Very specific, like to the decimal. That's what's next. And
It'll be the temperature of a room somewhere. I just don't know which room. Yeah.
You know, speaking of grapes, that's one of the things I remember about working here when Kings head coach Doug Christie was working here.
Mm-hmm.
Doug always snacked on grapes. And the one secret that he would never share with us is where he got his grapes from, because they were like the best, most ripe, perfect grapes every time. Like that's Doug Christie's ultimate secret that I want to learn. I don't care about his game plans. I don't care about X's and O's. I want to know where he gets his grapes.
I'm going to go with Domas's Vineyard.
Ooh, that's a good shout.
No clue, but that's what I'm going with.
Before Domas was even here, he was getting Domas's grapes.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Domas's wine is super hard to get. I didn't know. Like he sells out as soon as he drops them. So I've never tried Domas's wine, but I don't know if you're a big wine person. I'm not really, but I tried.
Not really. How's the tattoo coming along?
It's good. It's healing. It's healing. I'm putting lotion on it all the time. I got a full arm sleeve of the map from Lord of the Rings, and I'm proud of it. Why are you laughing, Whitey? What's wrong with it?
Because not a lot of people have that. That's all.
I'm disappointed that it took 31 minutes for us to talk about Lord of the Rings on this show. That was like my caveat. If I'm coming on, we're talking about Lord of the Rings.
I know. That's what, I got the
also,
Jose texted me, get to the Lord of the Rings.
I have a bone to pick with both of you because I was listening to you guys last week, because I listen to you guys all the time, and there was some you were talking about Oregon Trail first and foremost, which I appreciate.
Jay brought that up.
Yep,
I give Jay credit for
but
that.
there was some Settlers of Catan and D&D slander.
Yeah.
And we got to address that really quick. Jay, you should play Catan with me. You should play some D&D with me.
I don't even know what the hell Catan is, man.
We'll bring you around. Look,
that's the game that I mentioned that Andrew Luck plays.
Yeah, it's
Catan.
Settlers of Catan. It's a
Catan.
The premise is you arrive on this new island and you're all competing as different factions that's trying to establish your city, your town, right? And you have victory points, and you get victory points for every town that you have. Every city is 2 victory points, plus there's like largest army, you get a victory point, and you're just trying to get to 10. And you are collecting resources, using the resources to build things or buy things, and you're trading, and there's a robber that comes and robs you if you roll a 7. It gets very chaotic, and you lose friendships over Catan. It was like a college way of life.
One time I played it, Jay, I have a vague memory of, okay, what can I do? You can buy some logs. All right, you know what? I think the game's on. I got to go see what...
wood?
You got to get some lumber.
Yeah.
So there's resources. There's lumber. There's wheat. There's brick.
That's right.
There's wool. And there's ore. And you use all of this to build different things. Why are you shaking your head? This is history. This is resource management.
That's a negative, man.
I got to show some love to Jay, though.
I'll tell you this. You know what that sounds to me? This may be a little bit before your time, but you look like a individual play some board games in your life, right?
Always. Love
that
them.
just sounds like a high price Risk to me.
I love No, but Catan actually gets done in like an hour. Risk takes years. Risk takes forever.
I thought Catan was a long one. It's not, huh?
Well, it can be. It depends on how many players you have and how big you make your board, because there's different expansions.
It's no Munchkin, I'll tell you that.
No, you can have different islands. You can go and explore.
Is this the type of thing where you you go to a location and all you guys play on a board that's on the middle of a table and all that?
I mean, yes. It was huge in college in like the dorms or but you can
I'll bring it in, Jay.
I have Catan at home as well.
Okay,
I have an expansion.
A board version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there looking at it right here and it was like looks like it's online.
Oh, well, there is an online version too. We can play online together if you guys ever want to.
I'll let you and Whitey do that.
I'll show Jay some love though. I know Jay's a real gamer because I remember when I was still working here years ago, we had like a watch party for a Monday Night Football game in here, and I can't remember who brought in like the old arcade game.
That'd be Carmichael Dave.
And Jay was killing it at is Postman? Is that what it is? Where you throw the Paperboy?
Oh, Paperboy.
Paperboy. This man is nasty at paper.
Really?
Because that's my time, right? Nintendo, baby. Paperboy was the legit.
That was his
Remember
arcade
Paperboy, Whitey?
Yes.
You playing it? That's
sure.
a no. That's a no. If you would know it. You would know. You have to think
That's
about
where you're
it.
riding the bike and you're throwing the paper.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did it for real though,
Right.
right? Like,
I actually did. I did that too.
You had to. Did you deliver milk?
No.
No, you weren't
I
a
did
milkman.
milk the cows.
Oh,
A little bit younger than that old guy.
So did he just ask you? Did you deliver milk to the doorstep?
He did.
In a
He
bottle?
did. Yeah.
That's cold game right there,
But one
brother.
time there was this dog, big golden retriever. Rah, rah, rah. I'm delivering the paper. I'm like, I'll show that dog. So I flung it from the sidewalk and I hit it right on the handle of the door, which was great. But it opened the door. So it opened the door and the dog's leaning on it. So the door swings up. Ah! So I took off. Like,
You're scared of a golden retriever?
He was angry.
Like the nicest dog ever.
This one meant business. He thought I was
Lassie?
on his
You
territory.
scared of Lassie, White?
No, this was
Change the story to a pit bull, and I'll be more invested.
It was the biggest Doberman I'd ever seen in my life.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bull Mastiff.
Hey, the Yorkies, those things are scary.
So what's the other game you were trying to explain? I could tell.
Dungeons and Dragons,
Oh,
D&D.
that's even worse, man.
Come on, Mike Brown
bro.
plays it. You know it's cool. If
Does
Mike
he really?
Brown, yeah.
Nah,
Mike Brown, the day I became the biggest Mike Brown fan on the planet was a pregame press conference. I asked Mike a question. He completely disregarded my question and goes, I heard you like D&D. And we interrupted the entire press conference for him to tell me about his D&D experience for like 3 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, that was
I didn't know that.
I couldn't tell you. The Kings might have lost the game, won the game. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Brown plays D&D.
But he's no good because his rotations are too short. I don't know.
I don't think that makes sense, but it still was insulting.
I'm looking at D&D board game.
Oh, it's not a board game. D&D, it's a role-playing game.
What am I looking at then, Ant? Because
yeah, there's rules of again. Jay will play. You can come over. I'll give you like one of the wizard robes or whatever, and you can make a character.
So you got to dress up too?
No, well, you don't have to.
Oh,
but
okay.
it makes it
Just
more
to get
immersive.
Okay.
Yeah, because you play the characters, right? And then there's a bunch of different dice, and it's super confusing, and rules make a tremendous amount of sense. And
Look
there's
at this, Matt. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's a handbook that's 1,000 pages long with different rules. It's great. You'll have a great time.
Pardon me. Ryan Smith says, come on, Whitey, let's not degrade our guest host with this D&D slander. We all embrace baseball trading cards. So I guess, yeah, if I'm collecting cards, I can't.
No, baseball trading cards is...
Who said
That was
that?
Ryan Smith. He
Oh,
just trying to be nice.
Man, please, Ryan.
Baseball trading cards are way cooler than D&D. Come on.
You know what I'm type of board game / person I am? Just the opposite. I don't want to have to read no instructions. Bust it open. Let's throw some dice. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I respect that.
Right.
I respect that. Learning a new game.
I did that with my wife and her sister. Like, oh, we'll just play it.
Yeah.
And then we're playing. I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And I find out like a month later, read the directions. Like, we're doing it totally wrong.
You're completely off.
Yeah, that's not how you play.
There is nothing worse than learning a new game when nobody knows how to play. You need that one friend that you can lean on. But when you're learning it together, it's awful. It's the worst.
Yes, yes. A week 6 surprise. Carolina upset Dallas, moving to 3-3. And Rico Dowdle rushed for 183 yards after rushing for 206 versus Miami. I didn't see that coming.
No. Are the Dallas Cowboys the most fraudulent 500 team ever?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're kind of the epitome of the 500 team because offensively they're really
amazing.
good. And their defense, they've given up, I think it's like 6 yards a play.
Right.
It's awful.
They shouldn't have beat the Giants. I don't know if Russell Wilson wouldn't still be the quarterback of the Giants had they won that game, but they shouldn't have beat the Giants. But, I mean, death, taxes, and hating on the Cowboys, so it's fun.
And then the other number, it's stunning, but it should surprise nobody. We've talked about it already, Jay. Chiefs committing 0 penalties in Sunday Night Football, a win over the Lions. Since 2019, NFL teams have had 0 penalties in a game 12 times. 3 times it was the Chiefs.
Jeez Louise.
Don't even get me started.
12 times since 2019, and 3 times it's been the Chiefs.
No, I want to get Jay started.
You know what I told myself today, fellas? Truly, honestly. I said it was a great weekend. I was going to come in here on Monday, and I was going to keep it low-key. Normally, I'd fire it up on a Monday, White, and you know that. But I said I'm going to even kill it today. And now you got Matt talking to me about some damn board games I ain't never heard of. And now you also bringing up bad memories with the Chiefs. I'll be completely honest. It's hard, and I can't remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe even longer, we were talking about, for a lack of a better word, conspiracies, but it wasn't conspiracies. We were talking about something that makes you go, when it comes to sports. Truly, 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 truly. If there is a time and a place when it comes to conspiracies, it was something in the NBA, and I can't remember what we were discussing. Right? You remember what we were talking about? We were talking about kind of conspiracies or something.
I don't.
But
it comes up a lot.
Yeah, that is very true. The NFL, you got to do better with the Chiefs, though. It gets almost right in our face, isn't it? It is truly.
They might have been pushing it last night.
Yeah, right. It's almost to the point to where you're like, don't even worry about that. It's nothing to see over here. Just keep watching the game. That's not cool.
But Patrick Mahomes is cool.
Oh, here you go.
No.
What Keegan's injury means for the Kings. We'll dive into that with Matt George when we
You ever heard of Dark Tower?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Someone from the text line was throwing that out there.
I thought that was a ride. It's a game.
Dark, yeah.
Okay, I thought that was on Netflix. All right, I'm going to have to brush up
Stephen
on
King
Dark
novel?
Tower. Yes. At least R.L. Stein. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they're upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. And you've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Hey man, gaining weight, low energy, lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Sacramento helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000 or schedule anytime at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I promise you, this is not what this show's going to be about today, but we do have to address it. Anthony, who does a great job for us.
Shouts out in.
Yeah, he does a lot of behind the scenes things. He also on the show with Emmer and I on Saturday mornings, keeps us on the air, does a lot of stuff. He just came in because he heard you talking, Matt George with us today. And then Matt George and then Anthony like giddy as a school child. They were going on and on about Dungeons and Dragons, and then Jay wanted to find out more. And so it just off the air, that whole thing gained some traction.
So a couple things. One, Anthony is my new best friend. And two, Jay's asking questions.
I know.
So the hook is in. We're going to get him.
No.
The hook, he's nibbling.
I think you're off there, Matt. I think you're reading the room wrong.
I've been watching him as his friend. I can tell. Why is he asking? Is he asking because he cares?
He's curious.
If he gets to that point, I pull him out.
I got him hooked.
For his own safety, but he never got to that
He's nibbling.
point.
You can't save him. He's nibbling. He was very invested in Anthony's little bunny rabbit bard.
I'd say this. Anthony is Peter Cottontail as a character or whatever they are called.
Jim the Rabbit.
Jim the Rabbit. And he's a liar. Yep. He's persuasive.
And a bard.
Whatever that means.
He plays music.
So basically, this dude just hops around, plays music, and lies all day.
Yeah.
Right. And that's your character?
Yeah, welcome to D&D. It's cool.
Man, I'm out, brother.
It's cool. Anthony's cool.
Jay found out just enough to convince him, I'm smart.
No, Jay's out, man. I'm bringing Catan and D&D handbooks in tomorrow. We'll dive deep into this. Forget whatever happens in sports. This is what we're doing.
Let me see if I can tie it all together. Maybe I can't, but I'm going to try. And I know that Lord of the Rings isn't really D&D, but you have your Lord of the Rings sleeve that you recently had done, and that's the map of Middle-earth, right?
The map of Middle-earth, yep.
So where on the journey to destroy the ring, let's say the
Frodo
Kings,
fell. Wait a minute.
Yeah, the destroying the ring for the Kings, that's winning the championship.
Yep.
So where are they on that journey right now?
Keegan Murray just stubbed his toe in the Shire.
The
beginning of the movie, you know when Frodo jumps into the wagon to greet Gandalf at the very beginning of the movie?
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, Keegan just jumped and missed the wagon.
Oh, okay.
And
so pretty early in the process.
Yeah, we're getting off the ground here.
Okay,
so
it's going to be a while.
It's a journey. Well, if anything, maybe they've gone backwards a little bit, and they're going back to the Shire to reset. We have the wrong characters. You know, in D&D, when
they're
you
going
gather,
back to Peter Jackson's The Hobbit.
So yeah, like if it was a D&D thing, like you gather your party, right? Well, they need someone else in the party.
Sorry. I shouldn't have tried
they
that.
go back back and they gather. Anyway, let's talk sports.
Yeah. Well, we are. It's fine. Yeah. That was on me.
I like it. It's a good analogy.
Yeah. I thought maybe they'd be a little further along just in peril, but I get your point. We talk about the Kings and whether they're a contender this year, as Dave said, they don't have a chance to win a championship. How many years in the 40 years of Sacramento Kings basketball have we really reasonably been able to think, hey, they could win a championship this year? Maybe 3?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Even over the last
5 if we're really pushing it.
And there was a lot more excitement with the Sacramento Kings last season with the addition of DeMar DeRozan, but what was the narrative? It was they'll get back to the playoffs and DeMar will help them win a playoff series. It was never DeMar's here, now we're a title contender. So the championship conversation really hasn't been a thing. I know you want to build and get to that point, and you want to build a foundation. If you're not playing for that, then what are you playing for? But yeah, the Kings are just get to the playoffs without going through the play-in. Start there. Get a top 6 seed in a very difficult Western Conference, and then we'll see who you match up with, and then worry about trying to win that playoff series.
Yeah.
That's where you got to get back to. You got to just get back to where Beam Team 1 was able to get to as a surprise. Now you have to get there with expectations.
Now, you've been doing your podcast, Locked on Kings, for many years now, right?
Yeah, 8 years.
Yeah,
almost 9.
You've been involved with the Kings and going back and forth with fans, and especially considering your time on this station for a long time. Where is the fan base right now, in your opinion, compared, I should say, to where they've been? Because to me, there are some interesting things going on now, but I'm wondering how you see it.
Yeah, I think the vocal minority of the fan base just seems to be very, very out. Just give me something to be excited about, I think. And that's why I think the Kuminga talk over the summer was so polarizing to people, because it's like, okay, I can get a little bit excited about, not that Jonathan Kuminga is going to come into Sacramento and make them a playoff team or a title contender, which is why Scott Perry didn't go after Kuminga nearly as hard as some people thought that he should, or wasn't willing to give up what the Warriors were asking, because the Kings knew they weren't a Jonathan Kuminga away from contention. But the idea of having a 22-year-old that with all this athletic upside to come in and start this next era of Sacramento Kings basketball, I think was compelling to some people. But I think this fan base just feels like we had a taste of success with Beam Team 1 and got to experience that, and now it's about, can we sustain? And I think a lot of people are going back to the first few years of what ended up being the longest playoff drought in NBA history, those 16 years where it's just like, we shouldn't be this bad, we're trying to get back to it, but we're just kind of stumbling over our own feet. That's where it feels like this organization is back at again, and it feels like ownership tried to take some shortcuts along the way to get back to that playoff picture, and then even get beyond the first round, and everything's just kind of blown up in their face a little bit. So now Scott Perry's hopefully got to be the guy to put the pieces of this puzzle together, or buy himself enough time, and hopefully he gets the time to see it through, that he can reset the books and start anew.
Let's face it, sports fans tend to be sometimes unrealistic. You look at all the teams in the baseball postseason. By the way, bottom 2, Seattle and Toronto, 3-3.
Cooking.
Yeah. You look at all the teams that have been eliminated so far, and I'd say every fan base, when their team is out, they feel like, oh, they let us down, they failed. Well, no, someone wins, someone loses. You know, when every team feels like, oh, they choked again, they can't get it done. When every fan base feels that way, you have to realize that's just the nature of it. You know what I mean? So that said, I think a lot of Kings fans felt Beam Team 1, they felt like we were waiting so long and we're so patient, which Kings fans have been. And then I think they felt like, all right, we're back, finally. We earned this. And the team has come through. Now we're going to be relevant for years. Now a couple years later, they aren't again. They're really struggling. And so I think a lot of fans feel almost cheated.
Well,
that's maybe not realistic, but that's how they feel.
We're a society that lives in the now, but Sacramento Kings fans are very cognizant of the future and outlook and sustainable success. A run similar to the late 90s and early 2000s is what this fan base is craving.
Yes.
And when Beam Team 1 happened, even if it felt like they got lucky with injuries, that was a down year for the West, all the circumstances, whatever, we're back, and there's a reasonable path of improvement. Fox can get better. Domas can get better. Keegan's going to improve, right? There was you got to this point, and it didn't feel like the peak. Everybody's looking at this roster right now, and not to be disrespectful to DeMar DeRozan, who's 37 years old, and Zach LaVine, who's in his 30s now, Domantas Sabonis, who's in his 30s, but there's a lot of people that go, okay, if the Kings got back to the playoffs and were a first-round playoff exit again this year, just like Beam Team 1. On paper, it's the same season. But next summer, your outlook completely changes because now you're like, I got to move on from some of these guys and I got to start new anyway. So I think just the question of this fan base is, where are we going? Where are we going? I mean, it's hard for me just to enjoy this year standalone as it is, regardless of what happens, because I don't know, trust, or believe that there's any plan beyond April.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, and I think what the Thunder did last year exacerbates some of that because a small market team, very well run, very well managed.
Pacers too.
Yeah, exactly. So small market fans, on the one hand, that's great. It can be done. On the other hand, wait, we ain't doing it. Why not?
Scott Perry, I do not envy him. In fact, one of the questions I asked him when I got the opportunity was like, why would you take this challenge?
You didn't ask about Dungeons and Dragons, did you?
No, but we'll get there. But it's why did you take this on? Like you've had such an incredible career, and this is not the most ideal of circumstances. And I mean, one, he's addicted to the game, addicted to the challenge. He's just as much of a competitor in the front office as these guys are on the floor. So hopefully he can be the guy to do it. But I mean, I said this before Scott Perry was hired. Whoever they brought in for the job, if there's any demands I'm making in any kind of negotiation, it's you're going to give me more than enough time and leeway to clean up this mess to where I cannot be judged, other than like minor moves, I cannot be judged on anything over the next 2 or 3 years until I get this team to be my team. Like, you can judge me on my head coach decision. Doug Christie is now Scott Perry's choice. You can judge me on my draft picks, Nick Clifford, Maxime Reynaud. So far, so good. You can judge me on, I guess, the decision to pick up Keon Ellis's option and if they lose Keon in the future with that. But all the contracts that are on the books and all the mess, that he's got nothing to do with that. And he has to ride out the past regime's mistakes.
Yes. Fans are, many fans are very excited about Nick Clifford and Maxime Reynaud. Now that Keegan is injured, does that open the door for them sooner than we thought it would have been opened? We're back with that when we come right back with Matt George, Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sacramento Kings basketball is back. Be there for opening night at Golden One Center on Friday, October 24th, when the Kings take on the Utah Jazz at 7 p.m. Following opening night, the Kings will take on the LA Lakers on October 26th and then the Golden State Warriors on November 5th. Don't miss these marquee matchups and more great games coming to Golden One Center this season. Head to kings.com/tickets to secure your seat to be part of the action.
There's a storm brewing up, a whopper. Better take cover, Sylvester. That, of course, is from The Wizard of Oz, and Sylvester is the name of the wizard's horse when he's not the wizard yet. Anyway, it's not important how I know that. The bottom line is this. We do have some wintry weather coming, and winter is on its way, of course. So how's your HVAC system? Is it ready to handle the demands of keeping you warm this winter? Last winter, as I've told you, our system just tapped out. And so we were in a pickle. We didn't know what to do. A friend suggested, hey, Lee'sAir.com. Check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We did, and we couldn't be happier with what they set us up with. Why choose Lee's? They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For one thing, they get 4.8 stars on Google. They've won awards for their service, and they've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC heating and plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's installation and repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, residential and commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services too. They'll come out, get the job done, and you're going to feel like you got a good value because you did. We're saving a lot of money. Find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement, which is all about serving customers and community. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of us, treating us like family, and while setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life. Lee's Air, Plumbing and Heating. Lee'sAir.com, license number 635355.
Sacramento. Buckle up. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is dropping one day of insane DeWalt deals on October 18th. Bare tools, batteries, and kits will be at insanely low prices. Spend $1,000 on DeWalt products and get $75 off your order instantly. Spend $100 and get a lotto scratcher with prizes up to $1,000 off your next order. That's one day only. October 18th at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
Stockton 99 Speedway, Saturday, October 18th. It's championship night. Late models, modified, sprint cars, and the insane trailer racing. Plus a huge fireworks show to light up the sky. Tickets start at just $20. Don't miss the season finale. Stockton99.com.
Sinners and Saints is back and bigger than ever at the venue at Thunder Valley. This is Northern California's hottest Halloween party with a $5,000 costume contest and a tribute concert to the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. It's all happening Saturday, October 25th. Get your tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com.
Shop top brand tires at Big O with the lowest tire price guarantee. Now through October 19th, get up to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nitto, Nexen, or Toyo brand tires. Installation required, disposal fees extra, not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Hey man, gaining weight, low energy, lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Sacramento helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000 or schedule anytime at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports 1140.
No, we're the next few days, we're going to try a couple of different things, look at a couple of different things before we dive into it. And even with that being said, we have 2 preseason games left, so we still got some time. And then after that, we got practice days. So I wouldn't read into anything that you see, but you got to experiment and see what different combinations of guys and what have you.
What are your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more? The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, what else are we going to talk about today? 49ers and Fred Warner's injury and the Kings, what they're going to do now after Keegan's injury. Matt George is with us today. Appreciate that, Matt. Lots of people reacting favorably. Others, everybody has their opinion. But actually, I haven't seen any of that.
I had him until the D&D talk, and then I lost him. That's fair.
Yeah. I know this is kind of a homecoming for you.
It is. So, I started at, it was at the time just Sports 1140 KHTK before it was rebranded to Sactown Sports, and when it was before it was owned by Bonneville, and I was
Did you know, pardon me, but you might find this interesting. When I started here years and years and years ago, they had a T-shirt that had a guy's face on it, and he had a nickname. He was Mort the Sport. I was like, what? Someone said, yeah. Ooh? Yes, there was a T-shirt. I may have one somewhere. Sports 1140 KHTK, and there was just this guy's like, what is that? That's Mort the Sport. I just wondered if you'd ever heard of him.
No.
Okay.
Don't remember. Was that when the world was black and white? And before the color.
Yeah, I understand your reference.
Yeah, no, okay,
good one.
But yeah, no, this is full circle for me in so many ways, right? I was an intern and then turned part-time into full time and left for television and had a wonderful 4 years at ABC 10 and being able to just come back here and be a part of a couple shows with you is pretty awesome. Being back in this building, like it's like riding a bike. You just come back in, and you see everybody again, and everything's the same, and it's just deja vu. So.
And I'll mention this because Halloween's almost here. I asked you when you came in, you've never had any experiences here in this building, right, that were weird?
Never.
Yeah, because people will tell, this building, I've never had any, other than the Black Widow spider that almost landed on Chris Walken's face, and I saved his life. That's not really supernatural. It's just it happened.
Shout out to Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman early Saturday mornings. I was always doing that shift, so I was in here bright and early. One of the only people in the building, and it was especially kind of spooky in here during COVID when nobody was here.
It's a spooky show sometimes.
But but no, I never had any.
Okay,
I almost hit my head a number of times on that back stairwell that has that overhang that looks like it's going to clothesline.
That's supposedly where all the spirits are.
Well, maybe the spirits are just trying to take me out because I've almost hit my head on that like 5 times.
Maybe so. So what do you think, Matt George? What happens now in the short term for the Kings without Keegan Murray? By the way, thank you, Scott Moak just reached out. Thank you, Scott, for listening today. Is it time for Domas now to play the 4, Maxime Reynaud or Eubanks or somebody, Dylan Cardwell playing the 5? Is it time for that?
Well, I will say the remainder of the preseason, the next 8 to 9 days sure got a whole lot more compelling because now everybody's going to be tuning in on Wednesday inside the Golden One Center to see what is Doug Christie doing. And Doug has been very consistent with us this entire preseason. Don't read into any of my rotations. But now I just lost my starting 4 and my best defender. So still don't read into it, but I'm experimenting, and we're definitely going to read into everything that you do, right? So we're going to be paying very close attention to what these experiments look like, who works with who, and at the start of training camp, you have to have these units that work together every single day. We would see the same starting 5 in their black jerseys, and typically the same bench 5 in the white jerseys, and then like a third unit, and then the end of the bench guys, and because you want them to get comfortable together. And then after that first week or so of training camp, that's where you see them start to intermingle and play a little bit more. Now he's forced to intermingle and try different things. So I know what I'd do. Neat Clifford, come on down. You're an older rookie. Neat Clifford, in my opinion, is the closest thing on this roster that you have to what Keegan Murray does.
Does that mean he's a 4? You play him at a 4?
I think the 3 and the 4 are so interchangeable now because both DeMar and Neek are listed at 6'6". Zach LaVine's listed as 6'5". You essentially say, who's the better offensive player on this team, the 3 or the 4? Neek, you're guarding that guy. And if that means DeMar's guarding the 4, well, he's undersized, but the 4 is maybe not as quick. Some people believe that might be a little more ideal for DeMar on the defensive end. So you can definitely switch, and the Kings already run a heavy rotation and help defense, team kind of defensive identity. But, I think defensively, no matter what, you're going to have concerns. You're going to have issues.
You already do.
You already
full strength, you have legitimate concerns.
Neek, here's an opportunity to see if you can sink or swim early on, for lack of a better term, and we think you can hold down this position. Doug already clearly views him as a piece of the rotation regardless.
Yeah.
So I say put him out there over, like, no disrespect to Dario Saric or Drew Eubanks. We know they're not part of the long-term plan. Neek is. Try it.
Yeah.
Try it.
The problem I have with that, and I understand your reasoning, and it might work, but you get even smaller, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so then you have no choice. You're playing small. And to me, having watched the Warriors a lot, having seen teams of recent vintage in the NBA that play small successfully, they're good shooting teams. And this team, the 3-point numbers since Beam Team won again, they've just...
steady decline.
I don't know if this team shoots the ball well enough to compensate offensively for the lack of height at the other end. I'm not sure.
I completely understand that argument because that's the main hiccup that I have in a lot of people saying Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis is arguably the 6th man on this team. I know he's kind of fighting with Malik Monk for that title. I don't think Malik would ever be moved in. But Keon defensively, now you have a potentially really good defensive backcourt in Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis. You're shifting LaVine and DeRozan down, but you're small. You're even smaller than if you just insert Neek Clifford into that conversation. So, but the alternative is going bigger because you're now looking at guys that are 6'10". Domas is 6'10". Saric is 6'10". Drew Eubanks is 6'10". Isaac Jones is 6'9", but he's listed as a center because the speed of the game has been an issue for him. And outside of the corner three, he doesn't really space the floor at all for you. So I have concerns that could really work. And I mean, there's definitely an argument for trying to go big, and I think we're going to get a look at that. I wouldn't be surprised at all if on Wednesday we see Sarge or Eubanks starting, truth be told.
Speaking of Eubanks, I think we should start using his Basketball Reference nickname more often.
Which is?
The Shack of Troutdale, because he's from Troutdale, Oregon, and one of his only nickname in Basketball Reference is the Shack of Troutdale, which sounds like
somebody high school game that.
It sounds like a character from
D&D,
Lord of the Rings.
Right? Catan or whatever.
Oh, hell, the Shack of Troutdale.
Both of you, calm down.
The Catan.
That was an amazing D&D name.
Huzzah! Huzzah! It's the Shack of Troutdale, my liege.
Hear ye, now presenting the Shack of Troutdale.
Man.
I'm going to ask Jay. And I'm going to ask him casually. See, he and Doug are close.
Oh.
So sometimes he has information. Sometimes, I don't know.
Do
but
you
if
know-
I ask him casually, he may give us his opinion, but his opinion may actually be what they're going to do. I don't know, Jay, what do you think they should do with Keegan out? What should they do at the 4?
I'm going to go with my boy said, don't read into anything.
Boo.
I don't know that they know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
As Matt just said, I think they're going to throw everything against the wall and see what sticks, a la Italian pasta, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll see how it really moves and shakes out. But I say this: if you're going to run DeMar and or Nee Clifford as your 4, we in trouble.
That's what I think.
And that's where you talked about the first part of this show, the first segment. You were like, is it panic time? Is it emergency time? Are we in trouble? If we're running out of 6'6" gentlemen at the 4 spot, yeah, we're in trouble. We're definitely in trouble.
Yeah.
I think you have to listen.
I just keep flashing back, Jay. Pardon me for interrupting.
No, please.
But to your point, I keep flashing back on what a lot of Kings flash back to when you think of DeMar at the 4.
Right.
DeMar playing, trying to guard Aaron Gordon last year, and Michael Malone just almost salivating visibly at the side of
Give him 30, Aaron.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember very well.
I would truly say, and this is now going to coach speak, and I'm challenging not so much as Coach Christie, but this is challenging the thought process of coaches, which is this. We hear from, and we just heard it from Kyle Shannon, who's late, by the way. Shouts out to Jennifer Lee Chan.
Yeah, that's why Jennifer Lee Chan
Yeah.
didn't join us. She was not able to because Kyle Shanahan changed his schedule, but she still
hasn't talked yet, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to figure some things out.
Yes,
but
sir.
coaches always say what? Next man up.
Yep.
We have the people to do it, to step into the position. We have guys that can fill that void. Well,
no.
There's a reason why you have guys 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", as Matt said, 2 guys 6'10". You got them for a reason. So don't lie to me in my face and tell me that you got Dario Sarge and you got Drew Eubanks and you got IJ on this roster and you don't believe in them. Because we getting ready to find out very soon. See, the one thing about it is, and you spoke it to, relationships or whatever. I've always said I don't bring basketball truly into the conversation when it comes to Doug.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't really
No,
actually
absolutely.
put you in that position.
But this is part of it, and this is something that people are going to ask this question. If that's coach speak, if we're going to see Max, if we're going to see Drew, if we're going to see Dario Saric on this roster, Doug McDermott, somebody that you've talked about over my boy Dalton Connect, then they sure in the hell better play. Because if they're sitting on the end of the pine and we have a void for a big man, someone who needs wingspan, someone who needs to be a little bit taller than 6'6", and you're going to start somebody at 6'6" at the 4, then you've already told me Dario Saric and Drew Eubanks and IJ aren't part of this roster.
If Dario Saric can play...
Man, stop it, Whitey.
No,
don't do that, Whitey.
He had 14 points in the last game. If he can play, he should at least get some of those minutes. If he can't play, to your point, Jay, why is he there?
Yes.
Dario Saric was a good player before he blew up his knee in the finals against the Bucks, and he's had a series of injuries that I think make it fair to wonder whether he can still play, just physically.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had the opportunity to see him in Golden State for a little bit of time.
He was after I was there.
Oh, okay, I
but
thought
I've
you were
seen him a
there with
lot.
him.
I've watched
Yeah.
him a lot. I've always thought he was a really interesting player, kind of a Danilo Gallinari light in some ways.
He's shooting the ball really well in training camp, I will say.
Well, and he did Friday. I haven't seen him in training camp, but I know that against
Can
Portland.
he, let me ask both of you guys.
Just real quick, he was 4 for 5 from the floor, 4 for 4 beyond the arc, Jay.
That's preseason.
Friday
man.
night.
Come on now.
It's 23-9 whether it's preseason or not, baby.
All right, man. The same game we couldn't even watch because of views of.
Yeah, we didn't see any of the 4 threes.
Here's Shaden Sharp again, missing a shot and getting fouled. Meanwhile, the Kings are in the half-court offense. Great.
So we don't know if it's real or not. It's Will Chamberlain style. We didn't see the video, but we see the stats.
Literally, they'd come back and you'd see the ball go through the basket. Oh, and there's Zach LaVine with a 3. All I saw was the ball going.
That would have been cool.
I'm not kidding.
Would have been cool to see.
Can Dario Saric, and I know, we're talking as if Keegan is gone for the season, a la Fred Warner. Those are two different conversations. This is the beginning. We're still in the preseason. There's some things that you can do. You're not in the middle of it. Can Dario Saric truly, and we've had this question, Matt, you're here now, so I'm going to ask you, can he play 50 games in a season right now?
Dario?
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt? You've seen him. I haven't seen him other than,
I mean, I don't think Dario Saric was was part of really a Kings plan at all. I mean,
was it a financial thing?
I think yes. The whole point of the Jonas Valanciunas trade was to save a little bit of money, which, by the way, the Jonas Valanciunas trade now looks a little bit different right now because if you had a starting caliber center sitting in the wings right now, it's a no-brainer. Move Domas to the 4, start Valanciunas at the 5, and here we go. And
king size combo.
And the reason why, Perry made that move is, one, I think he had an inkling of what we found out later, which was Valanciunas was trying to get up out of there and go back to Europe, and the Nuggets managed to stop that, I guess. But he was trying to open up and save as much money as possible to make moves, a lot of which never really happened, right? Especially on the Russell Westbrook front, and then they ended up giving Dennis Schroeder the 3-year deal. It needed to be a 3-year deal so that they could make it a sign and trade. It was eligible to be a sign and trade with the Detroit Pistons. So and then right away, what did we hear? What did I report? Like Dario Saric and Devin Carter is the initial offer to Golden State for Jonathan Kuminga. I don't think Dario Saric was ever really part of the long-term plan at all here in Sacramento. So what you're telling me is the sole reason why we're playing Dario Saric over Neek Clifford, and I understand this argument completely, it's just because he's 6'10". It's not because that we believe, and Dario's been shooting the ball really, really well in preseason. I'm sorry, in training camp. He won a shooting competition against Dennis Schroeder, Isaiah Stevens, and Daquan Plowden. He beat all 3 of them in a shooting competition where you essentially had to hit 5 straight from each spot and then hit 5 in a row around the horn, and he caught fire. He did not miss.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this is still an NBA player and an NBA caliber shooter. And then to see him go 4-4 in Portland, it's like, okay, that's good to see. We saw that translate. But whether it's defensively, I don't know. I just don't view Dario Saric as really any part of any sort of plan going forward. So it's the thinnest, most non-sticky Band-Aid that you could put over this, in my opinion.
Okay, I understand your point. I think you're oversimplifying my argument, and maybe Jay's. I think Jay and I are at least in the same neighborhood. By the way, Logical Raptors fanatic, Jay, says Stretchy B is a 99 on 2K at the power forward.
No doubt, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
But Dario Saric, you say, just because he's 6'10", that's the only reason to play him. To me, I don't know if he can play, so I'm assuming he can play. It's just putting a lineup on the floor that gives you a chance to compete.
Sure.
You need a legitimate 4.
Right.
I don't
100%.
know if he's that.
100%.
I see how he doesn't fit what you're doing, and maybe you never really thought you'd even need him as much as you might right now, but you still have to be competitive.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Then I would go like the Drew Eubanks route. I think Drew Eubanks has had a really, really good preseason.
Shack of Troutdale?
Now, whatever he was, the Shack of Troutdale.
Yeah.
I think he's had a good preseason to this point. Granted, he's been the backup center for Domantas Sabonis, but we know he has a track record of being a floor spacing center.
I understand that.
So I think that would make more sense, but then we're questioning what the heck do you do at the backup center position, which maybe that's where Isaac Jones comes into play. Like, that's the route that I would go if I'm going bigger. It's
Drew Eubanks?
The Shack of whatever the heck.
Shack of Troutdale.
Yeah.
Show some respect.
Maxime Reynaud, I think, is appealing to a lot of people, but I don't think he's ready yet.
I was just going to ask you about him.
So we can dive into that a little bit too, but
you know what would happen to him? Pardon me. But yeah, I think if you played him a lot, and they plan to play him a lot at some point, there was a huge basket at the end of the game where he got the Blazers just pick and rolled him.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who the players were. I just know it was Maxime Reynaud. The big sets a screen.
Shot over the top of him.
Yeah, and Maxime Reynaud has to come out on the guard and had none chance.
Yeah.
And I think that would happen a lot early on if he's playing much.
I remember that play vividly, too, because the Kings needed to try and get a stop, and that was a perfect opportunity to see, okay, Devin Carter's in the game. He's playing the point guard spot.
Yeah, he was the one defending on the play.
This is
You're
the
right.
94 feet we're talking about, and Devin Carter backed off, allowed the Blazers to dribble the ball freely across the half-court line. They set up a high pick and roll, or high pick, shot over the top of, and it was way too easy. And that's one of those moments where it's like, that's not Zach LaVine we're asking to pick up 94 feet. That's Devin Carter. That should be his bag. That should be his game. And he didn't, I'm sure those are one of those moments that Doug Christie's going, we can't let them be that comfortable to even get that shot off. But I remember that play vividly, too, because even with Max being a true 7-footer, he's 7'1", he's a long dude. Like, you can still shoot over the top of guys like that, and we know how weak the Kings have been from perimeter defensive-wise, how many threes they've given up. It was better against Portland, so that's nice to see, but I like Max.
Give me Dylan Cardwell. I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, he's looked good,
as a
too.
starter?
No. Well,
no, not as a starter, but as a guy playing some. Give him a shot at earning some minutes during this period where you're trying to figure out what you're doing at the 4 and 5.
Truly, I started with Dario Saric, and we've had conversations on this show, and I just want to make sure I remind everybody within the last 5 years. 16 games last year, 64, which is solid, 20, 37, 57, and then the year before he didn't play, he was completely injured.
Yeah.
So if we're just averaging it now, let's just call it 40 games, right? You're going to Keegan's probably going to miss a dozen, 15?
Let's call it 15, yeah.
Okay, 15. Call it 15
it's 4 to 6 weeks, then he's reevaluating.
Right.
So 10 to 17 games is that 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, so call it 15 to 20. We'll take the high end at 20. 20 games. Are we asking Dario and or Drew Eubanks to be the party that we lean on for 20 games at the 4?
I don't know. I mean, obviously that's
what a mixture of what
out.
Max and Dylan Cardwell to steal some minutes. Is it we go to the hot hand for the night? Do we throw Dougie in there? Do we play a small ball here and there? But how long is that really going to last if we're talking about 20 games?
I think the only thing that we know or close to knowing is that Max is probably not there yet.
Yeah,
he's not a starter for sure.
Yeah, I don't think Max
he's just
is
not far enough along.
He's not ready on. I mean, the 3-point shot is there naturally. The communication is there naturally, which is a great start as a second round pick. But he's undersized. He gets pushed around. He's not the shot blocker that you would think he would be at 7'1", because at Stanford they didn't want him to block shots because he was the number one scoring option. So they told him not to block shots because they wanted to keep him out of foul trouble.
Right.
Like that was their game plan. So that's not as natural of a part of his game as you would think for a 7'1". So the rim protection next to Domas isn't necessarily there yet. I think it can be.
Also, to that point, there have been some great college centers through the years who were their team's leading scorers, and they played defense too. So that also speaks, I think, to he's got some shortcomings at
For
that
sure.
end, which I think is the main reason why he lasted as long as he did.
And I think there's a hope that he could become what Brook Lopez is at this point in his career, which is a 3-point sniper and then protects the rim on the other end. And Brook Lopez has completely changed his career around from being a post beast with the Nets to a 3-point specialist, shot blocking specialist with Milwaukee. Well, he was with Milwaukee. I don't remember where he is now. But I don't think Max is ready. I think to answer your question kind of, Jay, like from the entire organizational standpoint, it's can you tread water no matter how many games Keegan is out? Can you be as close to 500 as possible? And that was already a conversation with Keegan healthy because the start of this schedule is brutal. Let's say he misses 17 games. That includes 3 against OKC, 3 against Denver, 2 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 1 against the Warriors, 1 against the Lakers, although LeBron won't be playing in that game. That's the 3rd game of the season. Like, you are already fighting an uphill battle. To be 500 through the first 20 games, I think would be a good accomplishment for this team to then really pick up some ground in December and January. But now without Keegan Murray, not just your best defender or arguably your best defender, but really the only forward defender that you had, now it's like, how do we survive this, right? So I think the answer is Doug's going to try and find the guy or guys. The starting lineup may change a lot depending upon matchups that give me the best chance to win that day and just be 500 through the first month of the season.
Here's Guerrero Grows with a view that I think a lot of people share. He says, is it throwaway season? So he says, I think it is a throwaway season. He meant to say, so why aren't we giving minutes to Maxime Reynaud? He's a good rim protector.
Not yet.
That's why you give him the minutes. His coach is the one who told him not to do that. He said that he would be able to do that like a beast. So a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, but Max is, again, he's not a great rim protector yet. I think he absolutely can be there. He's also not that great of a rebounder. That was another thing from that game, Jay. The Blazers had 20 offensive rebounds for 23 second chance points, right? And that's concerning when, granted, Domas didn't play the whole game, but you have the best rebounder in the league on your squad, and you're getting killed on the glass that bad, including a 7'1" center. The biggest takeaway that I had from Max, negative takeaway that I had from Max during NBA Summer League in Las Vegas, is that he's not ready for the physicality of the game.
He's a finesse guy.
Yes, he's finesse. He's getting pushed around a lot. And that's, if he starts or plays meaningful minutes right out of the gate, whoever he's playing against, whether it's a center or a 4, if they're going to have 20, 30 pounds on him, they might be 3-4 inches shorter, but I'm going into his chest because I know I can go through him and I can box him out. So that's natural. He's gonna get stronger. He's gonna hit the weight room here in Sacramento, but you got to give him more than a few months of an offseason after being drafted to get there.
Watching that game Friday, and it was difficult because of the angles and because of the replays and things, and also the baseball was on, so it didn't have my full attention. That said, I was wondering, wow, Yao Ming's back in the league. Portland's got him. I didn't know he was back. It was Yang who was thinking that one quarter he was 5 for 5.
He was cooking. He was really good.
He had a few moves too.
Hansen.
Yeah, there's some things to make sure Brook Lopez is a Clipper. But when I sit here and I really sit back and I take a step back from the conversation and just listen to what Matt and what you're talking about, Whitey, when it's really all said and done, and this is kind of where I led the conversation, and for me, this is where I'll put it on the table. Scared men don't win, right? So I say this. I feel as a fan, when I look at this roster, and as much as you're handcuffed and you have, you have salary caps and you have to deal with some of the cards. Here we go, D&D, that you absolutely have to do, right? You have to, and you have to play the cards that are dealt to you. I'm truly, as a fan, as a Kings fan, as a part of the kingdom, I'm looking at this roster and I'm feeling I was lied to.
Really?
Yeah, because, again, if you're sitting here and you're telling me that the best option is going to be probably DeMar DeRozan and pushing him down, that's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm. Conversation continues. We got Matt George with us today, taking you up to Monday Night Football to Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily. Brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino. With over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Hey, thanks for being with us. This is important. Coming up about 4 o'clock, we've got today's code word. And you hear the code word, and then you text that in. And then at that point, you got a shot at our grand prize, which is an incredible. Have you heard about this, Matt George? Have you heard about this grand prize?
No, but I'm hoping I'm eligible still. No?
I won't say anything, but I don't know.
Is it a conflict of interest?
You could win a pair of lower level seats to the Kings versus the OKC Thunder.
Ooh, good game.
I still call them the Sonics, but in the minority. November 7th, a one-night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer and a $200 gift card to Revival, downtown Sacramento's social hotspot.
Oh, I better be eligible.
Listening for that code word.
Have you ever been like in the Sawyer beyond just like walking through, passing through?
I believe I was at the Revival once, and it's early days.
See, I've been to a couple like rooms and where like the Kings offices are, and then we did like an A's event there last season. But I've never been to like stayed there or anything. But I've only heard amazing things about it. So clearly the NBA players that come through like it. So
when I was there, Jay, it was pre-Beam.
I
think when I was there, I don't think it was in basketball season. But I do remember going over and looking at the building. I can't imagine what that would look like when the beam's on.
Oh, that thing's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sight, man. Revival go crazy. I like Revival. I'm a fan of Revival, especially when it's good weather. What 9 times out of 10 it is here in Sacramento. And you up there, and, the wind is blowing in your hair. I don't have too much of that. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I like Revival. I appreciate it.
I guarantee you the beam will be lit that night against the overrated OKC Thunder.
Are you guaranteeing it?
Is that an in-season tournament game? It might be.
November 7th, I think it is. I'd have to check the
It
schedule.
will be lit in Sacramento.
Yes, sir.
The Kings, remember the first year of the in-season tournament, the Kings beat the Thunder in Sacramento. Why do I remember that so much? Because De'Aaron Fox was out and Keon Ellis started in Fox's place, and the Kings beat Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder.
Those were the days, huh?
It's happening again. Bring it back. Start Keon Ellis.
You had the Beam Team year, and there were virtually no preseason expectations. The next year, expectations sky high.
Ooh.
Ended up, losing the play, and they couldn't beat the Pelicans. And then last year, Malik's back, coach is back. You got DeMar DeRozan. Here we go. Then you contrast the expectations the last 2 years with this year, and it's night and day.
Not as fun, not as exciting. But here's the thing: like Sacramento, this city is incredible when it comes to basketball. We don't know how Wednesday night against Phoenix is going to go, but I can tell you how Friday night is going to be before tip-off against the Utah Jazz. It's going to be awesome. The home opener environment is going to be great, and that opening weekend. I mean, Friday night home opener Jazz.
Yeah.
Sunday night Lakers. We know there's going to be a lot of yellow in that building too. Again, no LeBron James. LeBron is not going to be in that game, but Luka and the return of Jake LaRavia. Not enough people talking about it. Does he get booed?
Tribute video?
He had a couple moments, but it might be pretty quick.
Tribute slideshow?
Tribute moment, one play. I really thought Jake LaRavia was going to be a King, and I'll tell you this firsthand. The Kings thought Jake LaRavia was still going to be a King. And then the Lakers said, no, come play with LeBron, your buddy Austin Reeves, and here's an extra $1 million. And I don't blame Jake for going. See ya.
Well, I wonder, Jay, you said you felt like you'd been deceived, and I wonder if the Kings feel like in any way, shape, or form, if they were a little bit deceived by Jake LaRavia, who was so publicly any chance he got.
Oh, always.
What? Who do you work for? You work for a middle school newspaper? Sure, let's do an interview as long as you tell everyone, I love it here and I'd love to stay, right?
Yeah. But you know what it was. It's about the coin, baby. He ain't been paid yet, so he was still trying to get a check.
Yep.
Right, but we all knew that the Kings were limited as far as what they could offer him. But
True.
Still, I would love to stay here.
But
he didn't do anything that he wasn't entitled to.
Absolutely, and when you really sit down and look at it, no one really came for the bag anyway when it came to Jake LaRavia. So, as Matt said, I think he really took the bag. He took the first bag that really came to him, and he took to the highest bidder. As much as why wouldn't you say you want to be in here in Sacramento when you didn't know where your next check was coming from?
And
so I think that's where he fell in.
I will say, too, I feel like it was authentic from Jake because things went very poorly in Memphis to where, like, when he left Memphis, like, he did not like how fans were treating him there. He did not like how the organization treated him. And he genuinely did feel embraced in Sacramento. But as Jay just said, like, it was always about the bag for him. You got to take what's best for you. And only $1 more million in the NBA feels like pennies, but I don't know about you, Jay. I'd take $1 extra $1 million. So
even taxed,
even LA. LA cost of living.
As we try to figure out here what the Kings' answer is to who you play at the 4 while Keegan's out, what about Isaac Jones? We've talked about him a little bit, but we really aren't giving him as much consideration as I thought we would have if you'd have told me we'd be facing this situation 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I asked him returning right there in that seat on Friday. I said, why has IJ been off the map for the Kings? And he didn't really have an answer. I'd asked you about it. Didn't really have an answer. I've asked Drapes about it. Doesn't really have an answer. Matt, why is Isaac Jones why is he not being seen in a perfect light when it comes to this is the guy that we were pushing, dominated the G League last year when he had the opportunity, definitely did his thing during the summer league. We've been pushing, and all we've been hearing is, he's a favorite of Doug's in some form or fashion. He has his support, and now all of a sudden we have an opportunity. There's a void. There's a missing space, and IJ don't even look like he can get off the damn bench.
To me, I think it's because the outlook of IJ and the organization, I'm not saying this is what I've heard verbatim, but this is my read on the situation, is that he is viewed as naturally more of a center than anything else, and he's an undersized center at that because he's listed at 6'9". Now, he's strong as heck. He's a bull. Like, he's very, very strong. He's really good in the dunker spot. He's been working really hard on that corner 3 in particular because to be a center in the modern NBA, you have to be able to shoot, period. And the Kings have been looking for more spacing out of their big men, period. But I think the concern is if you start him at the 4 next to Sabonis, Defensively, he's too slow to be able to handle those responsibilities, or at least the horizontal quickness isn't necessarily there.
He's got a lot of questions he has to answer about whether he can do what he needs to do at the NBA level.
And then
Summer
offensively,
League and G League's like, whoa!
I think there's a spacing concern offensively too, and that's what's going to have to carry you through the Keegan-less months is your your offense. Your offense is already going to be your strong suit. Now it's even more important. And if you're playing a guy that somehow hinders that offense because of spacing, I think that's where the concern comes from. I don't know if that's completely fair, but
yeah, pardon me, but I think one of the keys to that going forward for him is we know he's worked on it. I saw him working on it in Stockton last year, that corner three, and sometimes he'll shoot it, and we'll hear from fans go, "What is he doing? He shouldn't shoot that." He has to shoot it.
Absolutely, he does.
He has to make it.
And he's made one, I think, already this preseason. He made a few of them in Summer League. He even hit a pick and roll or pick and pop top of the arc three, if I remember correctly.
It doesn't look bad. It doesn't always go in, but it looks like he knows what he's doing. You can tell he's working on it.
And I think if you were to tell me, like, in a backup role for limited stretches, like to get to stretch that muscle a little bit and get better at that, I think that's what the Kings potentially viewed him as. But now we're talking vaulted into the starting lineup, and even though you're a starter, that doesn't mean you have to play more than 15, 20 minutes. We saw that a lot with Mike Brown last year. He'd start guys and only play them for a handful of minutes. But I just think there's a lot of things that people aren't sure about in the organization with IJ yet. And IJ's not alone in that. You could add 4 or 5 different names to that list of unsureties. We were pretty sure what we had in Keegan on the defensive end. Now he's gone. So now we're trying to plug that hole with a lot more unsuredness, if that's a word.
It does, this situation, as regrettable as it is, as unfortunate as it is, it does make these last 2 preseason games even more interesting.
Very compelling.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get a better, well, obviously tomorrow night we will. I don't know what kind of feed we'll get for the Laker game. It was just a tough watch Friday.
Well, you'd think in Los Angeles they'd have something for us, right? I mean, the G-Man does an incredible job right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
It's sometimes better than watching, just listening to him.
The G-Man paints a wonderful picture. He's incredible at his job. I think this is the 41st season for G-Man, which is unbelievable. But yeah, I understand like broadcast reasons and things like that. The WNBA went through a lot of that like a year ago or 2 years ago when Caitlin Clark was making her preseason debut and you couldn't see it, Angel Reese, and you couldn't see it. It's 2025. I know like the general audience doesn't care about preseason basketball, but there's sickos like myself that do want to watch it and pay attention.
Yes.
Don't make it hard.
You're right. I was too easy on him before, Jay. Let's go.
Yeah, get him.
We deserve better.
Get him.
Give me something to work with preseason TV-wise. Please. Trying to watch the games.
That don't even sound good coming off the chops.
Follow the game. I'm trying. Help us help you.
I'm going to pay too much attention to the Jumbotron at the Golden One Center on Wednesday because I know Clipper fans are going to be watching that feed. And anytime the Kings do a highlight when the Clippers have the ball, I'm going to feel bad for Clipper fans.
Hey, you have like 1 billion followers,
That's
right?
Not even close.
You could just tweet. You could say hello, and you'd get 1 million likes. So I had something I tweeted last night. I'm asking your advice here. I tweeted something I thought I was, it's not bad. I said at Inuit Dome, the Clippers' clocks aren't working, but they're still getting endorsement money. Two likes.
I like that.
That's not terrible.
I like that.
Does that deserve more like 2 likes?
You needed a tree.
It's a Clippers thing.
You needed a tree reference.
Did I?
In there.
Maybe that was
What
it.
I appreciate about that, Whitey, is it's very smart, and sometimes smart doesn't land.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, like, I know for me, I need things dumbed down so it can hook me. So I'm like, oh, I understand. I get it. And then I clap.
All right. That's good advice. By the way, Jay, top of the 5th, the Mariners are leading the Blue Jays 6-3.
Woo. Doug Christie's Mariners.
I've been watching a few of the games, man. I mean, excuse me, a few of the innings. I will say there was 3-3. Vlad had a man on first and third. That'd be Vlad Jr. Count went 3-0. Backdoor slider. He took it, inside. And then as I was telling the boys in here, I said, if it's me, I'm taking the next pitch no matter what. Back goes on my shoulder. High fastball, he swings, and then next thing you know, boom, you get out. Just terrible baseball. Yet again, man.
Yeah.
Terrible baseball, and it probably cost your team probably a run or two, and now you're getting your ass kicked. So that's just part of the game.
When we come back, we'll jump on that elephant in the room once again. Did the season effectively end yesterday for the 49ers and the Kings? We got Matt George with us today. Huzzah! Some call him the Shack of Troutdale. We'll find out why when we come back to Sactown Sports.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
It's the energy all around you. The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Dislocated. I think it broke too, so we'll end up having surgery. Obviously a huge blow. Feel bad for Fred right now. He was in good spirits though. He's got a good foundation, and got a lot of faith in Tatum, and he's the next man up, and he's gonna have to do it throughout the year.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Kyle Shanahan, after the Fred Warner injury yesterday, Jay was just shaking his head. Were you shaking your head over just the fact that this is such a depressing, dreary outlook for the 49ers right now, or did you have some technical problems in there?
Nah, it was that next man up stuff.
Oh, okay.
Next man up.
Right.
The easiest coach speak in the world.
Yeah. You actually get fired from the coaches union if you don't say that. You have to say
I've heard that. I've heard that rumor.
Yeah. You will get a call. They will punch a hole in your in your coach's club ticket. But at the same time, it's just ludicrous. There is no next man when you're talking about Fred Warner.
And it was amazing. Immediately, you saw the immediate communication issues on the field begin. Like, we already know Fred Warner is future Hall of Famer, like just one of the best ever already. Like, and he's incredible as just a football player by itself. But his leadership is next level too, and the just little breakdowns in coverage and guys not entirely knowing where they're supposed to go, they happen immediately as soon as Fred is off the field. And that's like, you can find another body. Like the next man up, you can find another body who looks like a football player, who is a linebacker, who was probably the star at their high school and played well in college enough to make it to the NFL. You can find those guys, but you can't find the captain to lead. And you can't put Robert Saleh out there on the field to communicate with these guys. That's what Fred Warner was. And that's the part about, forget any of the football stuff. How do I replace that?
Yeah, the guy who is replacing him, Tatum Bethune, said that last year he asked Fred Warner for advice so often. Fred Warner finally said, I'm not telling you anything anymore until you get your, nutritionally, that you take care of that. Take care of your business. I'm not even going to help you anymore. It seems to me the last 2 years, which have been for the 49ers, well, this year I forget, they're 4-2, but right now it looks dreary, and they've been dealing with a lot of injuries. But I don't know if it's because there's been less talent on defense, but last year and this year, Fred Warner seems like he's even better.
Yeah.
It almost seems like the challenges have made him better.
Just the fear aspect,
Last
too.
year he was great before he broke his ankle.
Yeah, I mean, the fear aspect of, if I'm a quarterback, I got to scan, not because I'm afraid Fred Warner's going to come through the A gap and blow me up, but I have to constantly know where the heck he is, because the example I use is, I'm terrible at the Madden video game because I feel like linebackers just teleport and get the ball, and I never saw him, and I throw an interception, and I get mad and quit the game and do something else with my life.
Go play Dungeons and Dragons.
Baby. Dungeons and Dragons there's no linebackers in Dungeons and Dragons. That would be a good character.
It's only fluffy rabbits.
So only fluffy rabbits that are good at deception. But like Fred just appears sometimes out of nowhere to get some of these picks, or just to make these plays, or get his hand on the ball, or knock a ball loose on these tackles.
They really missed him yesterday when they needed the ball back.
They'll just punch it out.
Yeah.
He's a master at that too. So, Fred, man, you talk about like Nick Bosa going down is a big, big deal. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, okay, maybe you can survive that. Although their quarterback pressure has been terrible over the last 3 weeks, but Fred Warner, like if there was anybody on this team where like we cannot survive that, even more than Christian McCaffrey, I feel it's Fred Warner.
Mm-hmm. And Jay, let's be honest here. When you're watching your team and they need the ball back, whatever game it is, whatever the teams are, when you got a 3rd and long and the other team picks it up and they complete a pass, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
That said,
3rd
Baker
and
Mayfield, 3rd and 14, and he breaks seemingly, 15, 16 tackles and picks up the 15. An absolute soul-sapping backbreaker.
It did, man. It changed the game. And, I mean, they were down 19-27 at that point, but it definitely changed the game. And you could see that was getting ready to be a punt, even if you stop him with 8 yards.
Right.
You're back at it. You have to give love to Baker. He's on a different level right now. We're talking about Fred Warner. He's seeing things, he's doing things, he's playing confidently, and he's playing from the point of nobody is better than me.
Yeah.
And even if you stop me on one play or 2 plays, the 3rd or 4th play, you're not going to stop me.
He's relentless.
He is. He continues to keep getting at him. And they made a great point during the game where they were talking about, prior, and this is how fragile things can be when we're having conversations, prior to him coming to Tampa, even when he was with the Browns, his play, his direction, the way he was leading, some people looked at it as volatile. Like, oh, man, can he be trusted? And now the fact that he's with Tampa, it's like, oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
It's earth-shaking.
He was cocky.
Yeah,
before,
Baker.
And immature.
Yes.
And now he's a winner. He's a dog.
He's a dog. And they said that. He was like, oh, they use it as a dog. Baker played excellent. Mac had a few things that he needed to clean up yesterday. And it's interesting because we said it just last week. People talking about Mac Jones this and Mac Jones is their quarterback controversy. And common sense, he was going to throw a pick or 2 coming up soon, and they were getting ready to lose a game. And then what happened? Now it's all whispers. Mm-hmm. It's quiet. Nobody has nothing to say. And now all of a sudden we're talking about Fred Warner, which is the big injury, which is the big conversation. But, man, nobody wants to talk about some of those terrible INTs that Mac Jones threw.
Well, I think what yesterday showed us how important Brock Purdy, when he's healthy, his mobility is.
Absolutely, especially for that O-lineman.
Yeah.
That O-line, excuse me.
I think the 49ers as an organization, in my opinion, they've been covering for this O-line for a while now. John Lynch was on the pregame show Thursday. We had it here on our station. And Matt Mayoko asked him about the rushing attack. What's going on? And John Lynch said, well, we have different guys playing wide receivers. We missed that wide receiver blocking, and that's why the running game's not going. I'm thinking, what? I know that's a factor. Don't get me wrong, but that's why you're averaging 3.3 yards a carries because the wide receivers are blocking?
Because Ayuk's not out there.
What kind of plays are you running? So
there was a moment where you really felt Brock Purdy's absence. I mean, there were a number of moments, but the Niners were in the red zone, and Mac rolls out to extend a play and is looking towards the end zone, and there's not a single defender on Tampa Bay that's worried about him turning the corner and running that in himself. Like, that's Brock, he's capable of doing. He did that week 1 in Seattle. He turned the corner, ran it himself. And Mac rolls out, and the entire time, this is 100% still going to be a pass. Like, I just have to stand at the line of scrimmage or the line to gain and wait because he's not going to come at me.
I have never seen a quarterback in the NFL have a harder time just running out of bounds than he did on that one play.
Yeah.
Where he pulled up and I thought, wow, is he like trying to get a penalty? No, he could barely make it out of bounds.
Yeah, he's hurting too.
Yeah.
He's definitely
I bet you his
hurting
oblique is at least a broken rib.
5 of them.
Seriously, I bet you it is.
He can't hold a candle to Juwan Jennings, though. Juwan's got 5 of them, so man up, Mac Jones. I got 5 broken ribs. I'm going to yell at Kyle Shanahan.
Go sit down, Juwan.
I'm going to yell at Kyle Shanahan because I have 5 broken ribs. He broke 4 of them.
You see Trent behind it. It was like, everybody's hurting right now. Ain't nobody. Hey, nobody's crying about that spilled milk. Either you're going to play or you're not. Step in or step out. You're playing. You're playing. That's just part of it, and that's just you're going to have to work through that.
What did you think of the sideline dust up? The back and forth.
I don't read too much into that stuff. I always laugh when coaches try to minimalize it, and Shanahan's always a man of so many words. After he's like, "Yeah, it was just intense conversation. We're fine." Blah blah blah. But,
again, coach's handbook, as we all know.
It's like it's not quite like the Andy Reid, Travis Kelce thing in the Super Bowl, which everybody was talking about. And had the Chiefs lost that game, that's all anybody would have been talking about. And because they won, they were able to kind of play it off afterwards. I don't read too far into that. I do think it was interesting that Juwan Jennings had, like, at that time, he had 0 targets, right? Like, they weren't giving him the ball at all. So I think Juwan, like, if anybody had sympathy for Juwan when he said the 5 broken ribs and 2 sprained ankles line after the game, I think he lost any bit of sympathy he had left. Like, even if it's true, bud, come on, catch a football.
Isn't his new deal heavily incentive based?
Oh, true.
Yeah. So, Coach, I said I'd sign here, but you said you'd get me the ball. You got to get me the ball. You got 5 broken ribs.
Yeah.
Why are we going to throw you the ball?
Yeah. Just how about a cross pattern over the middle? We'll throw it to you. You can go ahead and get killed trying to pull this ball down. That's when we'll give you the ball. But now Juwan should be better than he is. The Niners should be making use of him more than they are, especially with Ricky Pearsall being out.
They really miss Ricky P.
He's been so good, just 15-plus yards downfield. He's been so unbelievable this season. But I mean, everybody can look in the mirror and figure out better things to do. But yeah, Mac was not moving well at all, and I felt bad for him. And it is crazy though that he has over twice the amount of yards that Brock Purdy does. Like that was not on my bingo card 6 weeks into a season.
Who's your MVP right now? Is it Baker Mayfield or is it Eddie Pinheiro?
Ooh.
Eddie P, Eddie Money.
What a great question. Eddie P's been incredible.
Yeah, man.
To go from the no faith at all in your kicker to complete faith. I'm not even watching because I know it's already good in a free agency signing.
And he's got a little more distance than advertised.
Yeah. That's them inflated balls.
Maybe it is.
You know what honestly, the 49ers should go to him and sign him for next year. Keep the confidence rolling.
Yes.
I would invest in him now and say, listen, we got nothing but love for you right now, and you're doing fantastic. We're going to reward you, and we're going to continue the confident play. And if chump change.
Yeah.
1.9, 2 million. Man, you can cut that. You can find that in your couch if you're Jed York and company.
Yep.
I would enhance what he's doing now and get behind him.
We have more Kings conversation when we come back. Also, we're gonna take you up to Monday Night Football. Why do they have 2 Monday night games? We have the answer to that question when we come back with Matt George with us today on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-292-0975. 800-292-0975. Again, that's 800-292-0975.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league.
On the Power business, technology, Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Then local. It's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Yeah, we take you up to Monday Night Football, bottom of the hour. I think a lot of people right now have two big questions. One is, why are there two Monday night games again? And we'll get to that. The other question is that Matt George? And the answer is yes, it is. What he's doing here, maybe you can explain.
We'll get to that too. There's an explanation. Well, I was just wandering around, and Whitey said, "Hey, come talk." And I said, "All right, I'll blab. If there's anything I can do, it's blab." I just normally do it by myself to a camera or a webcam, so to have humans to talk to, it's pretty awesome. I'm enjoying it.
Good for you. Yeah, we have enjoyed it, and we always appreciate you coming in and helping us out. And as we said earlier, I know it's kind of a homecoming for you.
Yeah, just being back in this building, being back in this room. I have so many memories in this room, even looking around at the jerseys on the wall. And
were you ever at the old building too, or just this one?
Yeah, no, on Madison. That's where I started. And every once in a while I'll drive past it and take a look ski at whatever it is now. But no, my career began here, and I'm so blessed with how it's played out and all the amazing people that I've met, and I have mentors and friends that I would be nowhere near where I'm at without. Like Jason Ross is one of the first that comes to mind, working with Carmichael Dave in the morning for years, and then so many friends. Listen to yourself growing up as well. So it's truly a privilege to be able to do this, and we're in the best city in the world and with the best fans in the world. So it's awesome.
I was reading something. I didn't hear any of that. Well, could you repeat it?
Everything here is great except for Whitey Gleason.
Thank you.
That's what I said.
I was a little distracted. Thank you, Matt. I was distracted because it's time for the code word.
Oh, yes.
The code word of the day. Sacramento Sports has given you a chance to win a pair of lower-level seats to see the Sacramento Kings obliterate the Oklahoma City Thunder on November 7th.
I'm ready.
One night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer and a $200 gift card to Revival, downtown Sacramento social hotspot. Enjoy elevated vibes, Matt, stylish crowd, and the perfect view of the beam after a Kings win over the defending NBA champions. I guarantee a huge Kings win over the vastly overrated Thunder. So here's what you do. You text in today's keyword. You text it to 916-339-1140. Don't text it on the YouTube chat. That just won't do you any good. 916-339-1140. Now for your chance to win. And here is the word. Swish. S-W-I-S-H. Swish. Did you get that, Matt George?
Am I disqualified if I capitalize the wrong things?
I think you're disqualified for any number of reasons.
Dang it.
But that's not among them, so no.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, that's not. Yeah. S-W-I-S-H. Swish. Text that to 916-339-1140. And good luck.
A swish is what happens every time Zach LaVine shoots.
He's amazing.
He's been on fire in preseason, which is great to see, right? Because he's got to be the tip of the spear offensively for the Kings, and he's coming off of a monstrous year. I know there's like a negative connotation around Zach LaVine's name here, not because of anything he did. It's simply because of the money that he made and the trade to go out and get him, which was completely out of his control. Last season, his numbers offensively were through the roof, like one of the best offensive seasons in the league, period. And he's picking up right where he left off, which is a great sign for the Kings.
In my opinion, for the Kings to be the best team they can be this year, they need him. Jay and I have talked about this. They need him to average like at least 27 points a game.
I was thinking the same thing. It has to be in the high 20s. Look, I understand Doug Christie wants to be a defensive coach, and Mike Brown wanted to be the same thing. And the one area that Mike, I think, really screwed up was he was willing to sacrifice too much of the offensive identity in order to try and improve the defense, or not even substantially, just a little minor improvements. And he did manage to improve the defense a little bit, but offensively, the Bean Team 1 was never the same again. And I know Doug wants to get this team to play better defense and buy in more on the defensive end and embrace that identity, and he can absolutely hold them accountable to that standard. But you look at this roster, you look at what their strengths are, it's significantly on the offensive end. If this team wants any hope of being the best version of themselves, I'm not saying they have to have the best offense ever like Bean Team 1 did, but they have to get back to something along those lines, and Zach LaVine is the key to that.
Please don't take this personally, because it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you, but we just found out our show has been just a little bit truncated.
Oh, it is me.
Yeah. Well,
no, it's me. It's okay.
I don't know that for a fact. No. Yeah, we still got
a
good
talk?
5 minutes to go here.
It was the D&D stuff,
Yeah,
right?
before we get you to Monday Night Football pregame. Can we talk to Jason here? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Jason joins us on Sactown Sports. Jason, what's up?
Hey, I got a quick question. I'm glad Matt George is there because I never expected that. But
me neither.
I got a question.
Me neither.
Everybody's talking about, Keegan minutes and it's going to whoever's going. I was just wondering, what about the guy from Auburn, the two-way?
Dylan Cardwell.
Dylan Cardwell?
Yeah. You think he's going to get some minutes or what's, And also, real quick, Whitey, if you can see if he signed with Fantastic for Saturday's show, that'd be great.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Jason. What?
I don't know. Something about Saturday's show, so get
Something
on that.
See,
and that's what you see what I'm saying? See what happens when I let you make the decision? Just play it.
Well, so to answer the Dylan Cardwell part, because that's the only thing I can talk about, he's had an impressive preseason. In fact, like I've heard rumblings inside the organization that like his improvement from where he was at in the summer league to coming into training camp like blew a lot of people away. Like some of the best improvement that they've seen in terms of just being comfortable with the basketball, being more offensive minded. He looked fantastic in preseason game 1 against the Raptors.
He had a rep coming out of college as a guy who had very little, if any, offensive.
Yeah, and that still is there. There's still concerns.
Sure.
The free throw shot is not good. There is no 3-point game or game really outside of the paint or outside of the dunker's spot but that's why he's going to go to Stockton, and he's going to get a chance to be one of the guys in Stockton. And Stockton's been extremely successful over the last handful of years. So I think there's hope for him going forward, but NBA minutes, I don't see that in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Here is the answer to the question. Thank you, Jason. Here's the answer to the question. Why do they have 2 Monday night games? Every so often you have 2 Monday night football games. This is from Bert Magnus, ESPN president of content. And this is what he told Richard Deitch of The Athletic in 2023. We're going to learn more about what optimizes best. The thought there is, can we combine total audience and do a little bit like we used to do in the old days of college football, where we create a simultaneous national and regional appeal and use our networks to do that in a single window? Then it combines to sort of be like a super audience total number. So it's inconvenient for fans in some ways that what the league says is, that way you don't have a game that's on at midnight. So we have 2 games on at once, but they're creating a super audience total number by having 2 games on at once. They can combine the ratings. So that's why they do it.
Not to ignore that point, but CJ, what Whitey just did there is the perfect voice for his D&D character, right? Because you have to bring voices in to change it up, because you don't just want to play yourself, right? So
You bring voices in?
Yes, you have to, like, if I'm the DM, I'm different voices for different characters.
What do you think?
The narrator, baby.
What is Anthony's little rabbit voice?
Hi, I'm Joe the Rabbit, and I'm going to lie to you. You're a great guy, Whitey.
I took the wrong turn at Albuquerque.
No, I didn't have your money.
Well, thanks for being with us today. Matt, is there anything you'd like to say here before we exit the airwaves?
Play Catan, play Dungeons & Dragons, and tune in tomorrow. We're going to have some more fun. So this was a blast. Thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait to do more tomorrow.
Yeah, and I hope that we've left you feeling maybe a little bit better about the 49ers and the Sacramento Kings.
I feel worse.
We're just getting started. Long ways to go. Stick around. We got good game tonight. The Chicago Bears against the Washington Commanders. These are 2 teams that figure to be in this NFC playoff jumble bucket. Washington figures to solidly be in there, and the Bears are trying to get in there.
I need a jumble bucket t-shirt.
Do you?
Just to explain where it came from.
I'm working on it. What a jumble bucket. Thanks for being with us. Stick around. Monday Night Football is next. We're back with Matt George tomorrow. Monday Night Football next on Sactown Sports.